I mean, are you concerned when you hear these trends of individuals going and getting advice from influencers on social media?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's always concerning when you realize that most of the people's education is simply just exposure. So they feel that because they have some kind of contact with it, that they've been educated and then now are educators. And so there's just a danger in that of, misusing a tool. For instance, if you had a construction worker that just one day decided he wanted to be a crane operator because he'd seen it been worked, you cause huge panic and problems and issues just because they make assumptions, they attempt, and then it just shows there's so much consequence. I think the real ramification comes when these people are saying they have these disorders, and you have psychologists or clinical people that just based off of self diagnosis affirm what they have come to believe. And when I was actually in seminary, we had a counseling training class with several, PhD, MDs, ODs, doctorates or just all kinds of different doctorates that practice medicine. And they'd done it for 30 or 40 years. And so they would talk about, we have the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Psychology now. It's the fifth version, but they would talk about first, second, and third versions. And so they said, as young people doing our clinicals, we were talking about diagnosing somebody with depression or multiple personality disorder. And, they just basically one day walked us through a psych ward and told us what it was and said, well, now you're qualified to diagnose. Here's a book. And if you read it and you can make some good ascertain, you can basically make a guess that this is what it is. And then, of course, psychology was brought in after that. So I think it's not an exact science. I think that's always the hard thing with psychology is it's not precise. It is a lot based on observations. I mean, the three of us right now, if we looked at a painting, we'd have completely different observations. And so you look at a person who's far more complex than a painting, and it gets very difficult.